Hey friends, welcome. Happy Sunday. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So nice to have you here and it's so good to see you. I do want to apologize ahead of time if you hear any loud banging. Scott is getting a new garage setup. We ordered this like Mac tools thing. It's got like cabinets and toolboxes, but it goes like around the garage. So he's taking all of his old shelving and stuff because everything that's out there right now he actually made himself. So he's really excited to get this tomorrow. So if you hear banging, that would be why, and I'm sorry. So I have this really fun tumbler I wanted to share with you. So this guy is really, really cute. I saw this on Pinterest and I thought, oh, that's adorable. I think I'm going to try to make that. It was so easy. I just Googled the Clorox images, the front and the back. I moved them to Design Space on Print and Cut. And from there, printed it out. I used the Cricut vinyl. You know, sometimes I use the silhouette vinyl printable. Sometimes I use the Cricut. And I like both of them. But I'll tell you honestly, the Cricut is my favorite. It is much easier to, move around and manipulate if you need to. So I do like it better. But I like both of them. And I'll get whatever I can find at the time when I need it. But Cricut is definitely, if I have a choice, Cricut's my preferred. So I thought that this was super cute. The one thing I'll show you, you'll see I have right here this one little spot where the silver is there. So I use an iPad, and on the iPad you can't like make a curved type of feature in your vinyl. So I did actually break down and buy a new iPad Pro. My iPad is so old. It gets to where like it turns off in the middle of me doing projects. So I broke down, bought a new iPad, and I don't know if it's any different with that one. We'll see. I'm assuming not, but I don't want to say that for sure. However, I do know with my iPad now, I can't make curved surfaces. So if you're using an iPad, what I would do, and if I were making this again, I would just make it a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, so that I can go up over top of it and just cut a little bit more off. That's it, very simple. Now, so this tumbler needs one more coat of vinyl. One more coat of epoxy. It looks really pretty, as you can see, but it's just a thin coat of epoxy. So there's like, some of the little shallow areas in it, even though it's nice and smooth. So one more coat of epoxy and it'll be perfect. The reason why I didn't go ahead and put the other coat of epoxy on before I show it to you is because something happened and I just wanted to tell you about it. Unfortunately, because I had to work quickly, I couldn't turn my video on and show you. My phone was in my bedroom at the time, so it was on my spinner and I accidentally knocked my spinner when I was cleaning up and it fell onto the floor. And at the time I had taken up the plastic. I put new plastic down actually last night because of that, but I had taken up the plastic I had on there before to replace it. And so it landed on the carpet. So of course there's carpet fibers in there. There was glitter because there's always glitter everywhere. A little bit of dirt. The dog lays around the carpet. And then I don't have a thyroid, so my hair falls out all the time. So there was like hair in it. It was a mess. So what I did, I just went through and I, cleaned all of that out of it, cleaned it all out. And then once I got all the debris out of it, You know, it was sticky. It had been turning for about 30-45 minutes when I knocked it over, you know, so it was sticky, had like sticky patches through it. So I put it back on the tumbler, and I took my heat gun on very low, and I just went over it and over it and over it until it smoothed back out. So I just wanted to tell you that, and, you know, show you the tumbler, because I know that things like that happen all the time. I've ruined lots of tumblers because of it. And through the years, you know, that's how I learned how to fix it when I have an accident like that. So I just wanted to show you. Oh, there's a piece of glitter that I missed in there. There's a couple little pieces, but for the most part, I got it all out. But I wanted to be able to show you that doing it, you know, I was actually able to save it. It looks good. There's no problem. Like, you would never ever know that that happened. And yeah, no problem. So this is a 20-ounce Hogg skinny that I got from Stainless Steel Depot. I do like the 20-ounce skinnies when I'm doing fabric, when I'm putting stuff like this around it, because I feel like the skinny is just so much easier to work with, and it comes out really cute. So this one I'm calling, well, I put it on Instagram as Flexing in 2020. And that's what I'm calling it. However, my daughter told me that it's supposed to be Flexing on 2020. So I'm not really sure about that. She says that I always get the slangs wrong. So who knows? I don't really blend my Instagram and my YouTube, because my Instagram is really like a personal Instagram. However, I do, you know, put tumblers on there sometimes, and I have some on there that I haven't put on YouTube. So if you'd ever just like to look at it and, you know, see the tumblers that are on there, it's Lorenda_RN. So, you know, you're always welcome to look and see. So anyways, this is my Flexing in 2020 cup, or Flexing on 2020. Not really sure which way it's supposed to go. She's younger than me, so I'll take her word for it. Anyways, I hope you like it. The videos to follow, and I'll show you how I put it together. Super easy, super cute. Listen, I hope you have a blessed and beautiful rest of the day. Stay safe, wash your hands, and use Clorox. Bye. All right, so like I said, I went on Google. I got an image of the front of the Clorox container and an image on the back. I moved it over into the design space and cleaned it up as a print and cut. So on my tumbler, I measured how tall my tumbler was and then how big it was around. So I made my image a little bit taller than what my tumbler is. And then I made it around, cut it in half, and then I actually added a little bit on each side to make sure that it fit well. And I would just go in and cut off the excess on the sides, and then I put it to the printer. And then of course, after it printed, this is how it comes up, and you put it in, it reads it, and then it cuts out your image. So I thought this was a really easy way to do this. I additionally do have one for Lysol. That's the actual plastic off of the thin Lysol container. And I thought that I might try that and see how it comes out using the actual Lysol container wrapper. So we'll see. So anyways, then I'm going to put these on my tumbler. Now, I would suggest the one that you want to see the most of, you put that one on first. So I actually did 2 of these, and I think this is filming the other one that I've already given away. But same idea. So on the one that you see, I actually put the other piece on first because I realized that was the part that I wanted the more to show off. And the reason for that is when you put it on, so as you can see, we're going to put the second piece on. What I do after I get it on, I go in and I feel for the ridges in that first piece, and then I lift up, like I take my nail and put a dent along it, the line of it, and then I lift up that piece a little bit, and I take my X-Acto and I cut off following the line of the first piece so that it lines up perfectly evenly. I'm sorry, my hand is in the way here, but I did make sure that there's another piece in here that shows it a little bit better so you can see what I'm talking about. But I do the same thing when I'm doing fabric tumblers. I put one piece on, and then the other piece that's over top of it, I feel for that ridge, and then I use my X-Acto and cut right at that ridge so that it lines up perfectly. And it's nice with the vinyl because you can definitely feel it, that ridge under there, very easily. And you just have to go slow and be careful so that you don't cut off too much. You want your lines to just line up exactly. Now, when I'm using this technique for fabric, I make sure that I Mod Podge over top of the fabric so it's nice and stiff, so that I can feel the ridge and so that it cuts easily. Let's see. I think that there's another spot that shows. So I'm using my X-Acto and I'm just cutting. And then as you can, oh, my hand's in the way there, sorry. It's hard to manipulate and not be in the way. And then after you cut it with your X-Acto, you're going to take off the excess. So and then you cut, as you take off that piece that you cut, then your edges will be lined up perfectly underneath. And just be careful, take your time. And then as you cut that, you can see the edges just line up perfectly. Now on my bottom and my top, I go through and I cut it sort of, sort of close. And then just like I do with Mod Podge, I've shown you in other projects, I take a piece of sandpaper and I actually sand off the edges on the top and the bottom to make it perfectly even. And so then I just did my 2-part epoxy. This is right before the terrible accident. And you can see the edges line up nicely. And yeah, just put on your epoxy and let it spin. And that's it. All right, listen, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it interesting. It maybe cured a little bit of boredom or, gave you an idea. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful rest of the day. And thanks for stopping in. See you later. Bye.